Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Be Present podcast, where we learn to live in the moment every day and in every way. We're going to talk about what it really means to be present. This will be part one of a three-part series, and in this episode, we're going to dig deep into the definition of what it means to be present. Let's start the conversation. In this episode, we're going to dig deep and define what being present really means. And whenever you're trying to learn a new skill, trying to understand something new in your life, you really have to dig deep and define it. Because if you can't define or describe what this new thing is, like being present, if you can't describe it, you really can't do it. Now, you might ask yourself, why is it so important to be present? And that's because being present is a foundational skill. It's a way of having a mental state that you are aware of the things that you are doing. And this is really important when it comes to our mental wellness and our physical health. Being able to be aware of your thoughts and your feelings is so foundational to being able to really engage in your life, to make the changes you want in your life, and to be able really to engage with others and have deep, meaningful relationships. So we're going to define it because if you just follow what you hear online or the catchphrase everyone says to live in the moment, you don't really know how to do that. You don't really know how to live in the moment. So let's start with defining the word be. Simple word, but it really has a heavy meaning. It has a significant meaning. When you look at what be means, to be, it really just means to exist. Think about that. Exist. That means we are aware that we're alive. We are aware that we exist in the place we are at the moment when we're looking at ourselves. It's like if you want to be a father, you take that very serious. Being a father isn't just knowing you're a father, is existing as a father or a mother and taking on that role seriously and working hard to live up to what a good mother or father should be. So that be is very powerful. Well, what about the word present? Well, when you look at it in context, to them being put together to be present, present means that you're existing in the moment that's in progress. Or in other words, the now that you're living in. So to be present means to exist in the now. Now, the term now is kind of strange because we don't really even use that word unless you're specifically talking about a point in time where you say, I want that now. Or, what should I do now? But when you think about it, now is not really the way we track time, right? When we track time, we look at it in hours and minutes and seconds. And when we plan our day, we know we're going to work from 9 to 5. But very rarely would you say, I'm going to be in the nowness of my work. Imagine if you had a watch that every time you looked at it, it would say now. If someone asked you, what time is it? You would look and say, it's now. That's true, but we don't live that way. We don't think about time when it's related to the nowness of our life. And that's something you have to do when you want to learn to be present. You have to understand that to be present is to exist in the now. So, what does it really mean to exist in the now? Again, we have to go deeper. We have to expand the definition of what this really means. You have to understand what nowness feels in your life. And that's where the definition of awareness comes in. Because awareness is also a very active way of thinking and observing when it comes to the nowness of your life. When you become aware of something that you're dealing with at the moment, you're really looking at the nowness of your life. What are you doing now? What are you thinking now? What are you feeling now? So awareness is very important. In fact, awareness is kind of a triad of skills or mindsets that you have to become aware of in order to really embrace the concept of living in the now. Another word related in this triad is consciousness. Consciousness is actively being aware of what you're doing, who you are, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're going to do next in the present moment. So you have these three definitions that work together to help you to exist in the now. That's awareness, consciousness, and presence itself. Because presence is now another way of you becoming aware of your life, but presence is more done through the body, where awareness and consciousness kind of happens in your mind because you think and you focus on the things that you're thinking about and feeling about. But presence, the way we become present is not through our mind. We don't say, okay, I'm going to be present right now. See, that's a mental concept. That's not how presence works. Presence works through the body. And the way you become present is by engaging your senses. We are a physical being that we live every day through the experiences of our senses, our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch. But these things happen to us so much every day, all the time, we can kind of just lose touch with our senses and get caught up in the thinking of our daily life. So let's review this again. As you can see, to be present means to exist in the now. And in order to exist in the now, you have to use awareness, consciousness, and presence so that you can pay attention to what you're experiencing in the present moment. And you have to understand how to separate how the mind becomes present and how the body becomes present. They both have to be active to get you to live in the now. And remember that through the mind, that's where we use thinking as a tool. So when we want to be present, we're thinking about how to connect with the now. We're thinking about what is the purpose of us engaging in the now. And through our bodies, we are experiencing everything in the now. What we see, what we hear, what we feel in our bodies. And in turn, the emotions that come up from that give us certain thoughts, feelings, and desires. In my book, Lose the Weight on Your Mind, Body, and Spirit, I dedicate a large portion to learning how to be present. Because as I said, it is a foundation skill we need in our life to make whatever changes we want and really just to appreciate the things that we experience. Let me read to you from my book the definitions that I highlighted. If you look on page 116, under How Can I Be More Present, Notice, and I quote, "When you are present, you are actively in touch with the moment you are in. Your mind and body are focused on the activity you are engaged in. You feel and embrace the environment that you are in. You feel the temperature of the air. You are aware of the smells in the room, and you see and appreciate the things in front of you. If you are talking to someone, you are not distracted by any thoughts or feelings that are not related to the event or the conversation. When you are present, you are not constantly planning for any real or imagined future event. In your present state, you are taking in the enjoyment of what is going on in the moment. When you are present, you can feel the aliveness of yourself and the world around you. I hope this video has helped you to understand what it means to be present. Now, I would like to give you some homework because, as we discussed at the beginning, if we can't really define something, we really can't do it. And the goal of this podcast is to help us to be more present in our lives. Being present, as you can see, is not just sitting somewhere with your eyes closed, but being present is engaging in your life. Being present is how you show up at work, how you show up in your relationships, and how you can really enjoy your life from all the things that you experience, living in the moment and experiencing them in the now. So your homework will be, do some more research. Look for other videos that define what it means to be present and compare them with the definitions that we spoke about. Look the definitions up in a dictionary or on a blog site. The more you hear other people define it, the more you can know what connects with you and what you understand. Then talk to a friend. Ask them what do they think it means to be present. And see if you can explain the definition that feels just right for you. My videos are going to be short, focused, and always give you some kind of activity so you can really learn how to apply the things that we talk about. Being present is an everyday journey. But just like any skill, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So thank you again for joining me. And remember that the Be Present podcast is to live in the moment every day and in every way. Thank you.